whenever I officiate a wedding, all right, witness a wedding, one of the traditions I've kind of had throughout the years of doing the several weddings, I'm at 149. He's probably 10 times that, okay? But one of the things I always try to do is to get some type of unique gift, and it becomes a part of my homily, okay? And that unique gift in some way tries to point this couple in the right direction, okay? And I've done this more than once, but one of the things that I sometimes give as a gift, now you're thinking, oh, he gets them a crucifix or he gets them a Bible. No, one of the things I usually get, or several times, a box of Wheaties. Yeah, a cereal box of Wheaties, all right? And of course I take it out, I put it in their hands, and the whole idea behind it is that, Wheaties always has the picture of what on it? An athlete, a great athlete, right? Well, it's sort of an example because that particular athlete, for whatever sport they're in, they've kind of gone the extra mile, haven't they? They've kind of said to themselves, I want to become the best that I can be. I want to reach the highest point in that particular sport. And they do. They put the extra practice in, the extra training in. They go above and beyond so that they can become the best that they possibly can be. Well, I challenge those wedding couples, with that. Today's a day that you are going to put in the extra effort so that one day you might be able to have your picture on that box of Wheaties. I challenge you to go the extra mile, to step up to the plate and do all that you can to become the best that you possibly can be, as a couple. Now, I think about that in terms of maybe the two characters that we see in our readings today. What's the first one? Eleazar, right? Okay. An older man, and of course he's being forced to do something he doesn't want to do. He's being forced to go against the law. He's being forced to go against the practice of the Jewish faith, and he just says, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Because this is what's important to me. So even in the face of suffering, even in the face of death, he accepts this and says, you know what? This is who I am, and I'm going to push forward. I'm going to push forward so that my faith will put me into the next step or put me into that next place. Well, then we also have in the the gospel reading, who? Zacchaeus. Wouldn't it be easier for just Bob and Mike, Wouldn't that be a lot easier? But Zacchaeus. One of the things I've always been fascinated about Zacchaeus is what he did in order to see Jesus, in order to witness the passing by of the Lord. Of course, he was short in stature, all right? So what did he have to do? He climbed up a sycamore tree so that he could see the Lord. He went above and beyond. He said, you know what? I want to see Jesus. I want to see what he's about. He climbed that tree. Jesus saw him, and once and for all, his life was changed. His life was changed. Such a good example for us to kind of embrace that thought too. How far would we go? What would we do? What are we doing in order to witness Jesus passing by? What are we doing to see Jesus in our life? As I can tell you, you go the extra mile, you face sometimes the suffering, you go through whatever it is you're going through, but you get up on that sycamore tree and you see him going by, and I promise you, he's going to change your life. He's going to change your life. I know it's not always easy. The climb isn't easy, but it's well worth it. And Zacchaeus is showing us that. Eleazar is showing us that. It's well worth it. So I'm wearing this stole today, okay? I've never worn it before. It was made for me. It was more of a St. Patrick's one, But today is also the feast day of St. Margaret of Scotland, not Ireland, okay? But the unique thing about St. Margaret, of course, is that she was from Hungary, born in Hungary in the 11th century, and then, of course, she ended up in the British Isles, ended up in Scotland, ended up marrying the king, and she became the Queen of Scotland, okay? What I like about that story is that my mother's side comes from Hungary. my father's side comes from Scotland. So it has a little bit of good meaning for me. But St. Margaret, in the face also of so many challenges in her life, she did so many good things. She was a champion for the poor and seeking out justice for those that didn't have it. She built all kinds of monasteries and so forth throughout Europe. She was responsible for all that. But in the face of the challenges, even as a queen, she said, you know what? I'm going to follow God. I'm going to follow Jesus. And life changes. And life does get better. So today, let's climb a tree, okay? And let's watch Jesus pass by.